You ever just get in the mood to whip up some roulade of duck breast with creamed sweet corn and a morel mushroom sauce? Or is that just me? Welcome back to Jamie and Chef. I'm just not gonna give up without a fight. Hi, everyone. I'm back in the French Laundry Cookbook from Thomas Keller for my 6th and final stint. We're gonna move on to another cookbook next time, so stay tuned till the end and I'll do a whole cookbook reveal, but until then, focused on this one. So for my final recipe, I wanted to choose something that was gonna continue to push me, kick my ass sort of thing, and something fine dining-y, that's what I was aiming for today. This right here, there it is. The roulade of the duck breast right there, and if you're wondering what a roulade is, it's like a dish that is served all rolled up. Typically a meat, you flatten it, you roll it up. On top are the mushrooms, corn, and a little something something on the bottom. TK needed to figure out how to cook and serve duck in a way that was suitable to the style and portion size of the French Laundry. Corn garnish is logical because ducks are corn fed and the morels are very earthy. You can almost never go wrong with adding mushrooms to anything. All right, I think I got my work cut out for me today, so let's get started. Duck breast, just one of them today. I don't need the whole bird. Ooh, that is ripe. Yeah, that needs to be washed. So anytime there's a duck in my kitchen, it reeks. So I just gotta wash it off because it's just like, it's what happens when it's sitting in that packaging. No more smell. All right, so let's start off with removing the skin. Gentle. This is going smoothly, surprising everyone. Yeah, you didn't really hit any snags there. Trim away any membrane cartilage. Remove the tenderloin from the underside of each breast and reserve it. I'm assuming that's this. This has gotta be the tenderloin, right? I'll look into it in a second when my hands are washed, but I'm assuming that's a tenderloin. Remove and discard the skin from the duck breast and cut in half. Cut in half. Oh, we got a make or break moment right at the beginning. Am I cutting it this way or am I cutting it this way? Well, I'm assuming it's this way. That doesn't make any sense. Has anyone ever made this before? All right, I'm very confused of which way I should be cutting in half. This way or this way. I think I'm gonna opt for this way. Yeah. Done. What's done is done. Wait, that still rolls up, right? I don't know what the answer is, so I think I'm just gonna proceed, and I have something in mind in case I did it wrong. Trim the ends of the meat to form a rectangle. I picked up some of Thomas's favorite salt. This is Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt, and he likes it because of the size of the granules. You can kind of grip it and do whatever you want with it. So I'm gonna play around with this. Sprinkle the underside of each duck breast with some salt and some pepper. Couple cranks. Couple allspice berries here. Let's just say 4. Let's grind these up. And we're gonna sprinkle a little allspice onto each one as well. Swiss chard. I need 2 large outer leaves of this. It has to still be intact. Add these leaves into a pot of boiling water. We're gonna do between 3 to 4 minutes, boiling gently. Bowl me. Thank you. Ice me. Great. All right, so we're gonna have to fill this up with water. I hear you, sir. We're gonna remove the Swiss chard leaves from the boiling water and into the cold water. Onto paper towel, and we're gonna dry them. Pick which one I'm gonna use. I'm thinking this one. Place a leaf on the cutting board, and with the inside of the leaf facing upward and the core end toward the bottom, carefully cut the large rib from the leaf. This is what I'm thinking. These are too thick, and I may have cut them the wrong way. I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, it's pounding time. This is my call. The cookbook says nothing about this, but this just makes sense to me. Trim the leaf so it is the length of the breast. Do that for now. Roll it up lengthwise to form it into a cylinder. Oh yeah. That's a cylinder. Roll the duck breast up in the leaf. C'est ça? Let's do that with the other duck breast as well. I need a 20-inch long piece of plastic wrap. I'll roll the duck breast up in the plastic wrap, and I can do the other one here. This is enough plastic wrap for both. Okay, holding the roulade, twist one end of the plastic wrap several times against the duck. Okay, well, we know what we're doing. This will secure the shape. Repeat on the other end, twisting in the opposite direction. And then we tie both ends in a knot. One end one way, the other end the other way. And we bring both ends to the center. Yeah, a little tape. These go into the fridge until I need them. There's about a 75% chance that I did that wrong, but stay optimistic. So we gotta whip up a brunoise, and I did this before when I did that butter poached lobster dish. There's a little work involved for something that isn't a whole lot of reward. It would make sense if you were making it at the restaurant, but here in this kitchen, I just need a tablespoon worth of this, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Got some carrots, a leek, turnip. I really just need one carrot. Anyway, let's get going here. We don't need this part of the leek. We need the dark green part. Let me use this. All right, let me wash the insides of this. Anytime I reach up above the microwave, you know what time it is. Oh, we gotta work with the mandolin today. Yeah. Into 1/16 of an inch dice. Basically as tiny as I can make these. Take 1 part carrot, 1 part turnip, and half a part leek into the boiling salted water left over from the Swiss chard. And I keep them in the strainer, they don't go all over the place. It's great. Color has been set and they have been softened into ice cold water for a few seconds and onto a paper towel. I don't have any problems combining them all now. So those are pretty dry and combined. Thank you. So I'm gonna put them into a container with a lid. Mix it all together, and there is our brunoise. All right, so this is the freshest corn I could find when it's not corn season. There. We're gonna cut the kernels from these two. Yeah. This is very gratifying. Whew. Okay, so I need my blender. So in a blender with a little bit of water, just enough to allow it to blend, puree. Bowl me, and a sieve. And strain. Allow all the corn juice to drain, pressing lightly on the corn but not forcing it through. Roughly half a cup worth of this corn juice. Hey, that's exactly what he's saying I should have. Perfect. Cut the kernels from the remaining 2 ears. Whew, gratifying, indeed. Now we're gonna drop the corn into the boiling water for a minute. So skimming off any impurities that rise. Let me just go over to the sink and drain this. Jesus, mirth. Drain the corn and cool it in cold water. And then we drain it again. That's our last drain sesh. Get that on a paper towel. Then dry the kernels. I'm gonna put this all aside because there's one last hurdle. All right, check out my stash here. So with some morel mushrooms, look at these beauties. So firstly, I only need 4 ounces worth of this stuff. Trim the stems off. If vegetables that need to be soaked are going to be cooked, use warm water as it loosens dirt more easily than cold. Soak the mushrooms. Thomas Keller has entered the chat when it comes to washing mushrooms. That is a lot of dirt coming off these things. Oh yeah. I feel validated. I feel vindicated. I get so many people telling me, don't wash your mushrooms. Well, I mean, would you drink that? I gotta do that 2 to 3 more times. If there's any small mushrooms, they can stay whole, and then I will just keep them in the mushroom water. Large morels should be cut into uniform pieces. Now there's one thing that we need to discuss before we move any further, and that is this right here, 3/4 cup of a quick duck sauce. So you go to page 228, and a quick duck sauce, quite honestly, doesn't seem that quick at all. I need 1.5 pounds of duck bones, which, you know, I don't have on hand because I was just using the breast, obviously. And then you need chicken stock, veal stock, have it simmer, and then deglaze once, deglaze twice, third deglaze, fourth. Bring it to a simmer, 30 to 45 minutes later, you strain it. What he's talking about with this duck sauce is essentially a demi-glaze. And I was looking into it and I was like, well, I can buy that pre-made already, right? I don't have to go to all the trouble of sourcing duck bones and et cetera, et cetera. So, duck veal demi-glaze, which is exactly what I needed. Anyway, problem solved. My quick duck sauce is right there. I'm pretty stoked about it. We can move on to assembling everything, to completing this dish, to completing the dish. Okay, so now the way the recipe is written, if I was to follow it exactly, I'd be running around at the very last minute, completing everything I need at the very end. So I'd be cooking the duck, the creamed corn, and the morel mushroom sauce, all of it at the exact same time. Seems kind of stressful, and I don't think I need to put myself in that situation because it's going to be okay if I just do it one at a time. I think that would be the safest and most logical way of doing it. So get my cast iron skillet, and I'm going to start off with the mushroom sauce. Medium heat, throw in a tablespoon of butter. Shaking any excess water from these mushrooms, get them into the skillet, into the butter. And we're going to saute these until the liquid has evaporated and the mushrooms are tender. 1/3 cup of my quick duck sauce, very quick. Heat that through. So what I'm going to do is just put this off to the side for a bit because I don't need it just yet. I got to do more thingies. Now I got a saucepan. I'm going to add in the corn juice. The starch present in the corn, which is cornstarch, will cause it to thicken very quickly, but do not allow it to boil or it may curdle. All right, that has thickened up into something that looks like a custard. It looks like creme anglaise in there. We shall turn down the heat. So I gotta add in 4.5 tablespoons of butter. You know, it's a lot, but Thomas is worth it. Once the butter has melted, I'm gonna add in my blanched corn kernels. Oh, I missed the pan a little bit. Damn it. Okay, it's gonna be okay. We got some here and we got some that went in the mushrooms. Mix that together. Season with a little salt. Freshly ground black pepper. Looks incredible, but how does it taste? Looks and tastes incredible. Take that off the heat and remove each individual corn kernel from the mushrooms. Over here. Okay, so we're looking for 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we reach that point, we have to maintain that for the entire time we poach this duck. And the duck, yeah, is gonna go right here. 189, close enough. I'm gonna take my duck rolls here, my roulades, and in they go into the 190 degree Fahrenheit water, keeping them in the plastic. Of course I want some medium rare duck here, so I'm gonna aim for 6 to 7 minutes, maintaining 190 degrees Fahrenheit, or pretty damn close too. Some of this demi-glaze here, my duck sauce, my quick duck sauce, I'm gonna heat some of that up. Well, just heat it all up. I'm gonna move that over here. I just wanted you to know I was doing it. In with the mushrooms, we're gonna add a teaspoon of each. Parsley, the shallot, the chives, and of course, a tablespoon of the brunoise. Just for a few seconds, then we turn off the heat, remove it from the heat. Why don't you bring back the demi-glaze? Toss in 2 more tablespoons of butter. Swirl it in. Salt, a couple cracks of pepp. Oh, shoot, I forgot. That is for the duck. Remove the duck onto a plate, and I'm gonna let this hang out for a few minutes while I gather my thoughts. So with a serrated knife, cut off an end of each. Whoa. Whoa. Yes. Push it gently out of the wrap into 3 equal slices. So damn small. Remember the issues I had at the very beginning regarding the size of these duck breasts. I'm not 100% sure if this is how thick these are supposed to be in diameter. So probably not gonna dress this plate exactly like TK does because I'm not at the French Laundry. You know, I want a full meal as well. So I think I'm gonna do something a bit creative here. Place a spoonful of the duck sauce in the center. Damn it. All right, I'm gonna try to deglaze this even more so. I've deglazed this down as much as I can. I still think it's gonna be too runny. That's fine, whatever. Next up goes the creamed corn. I'm gonna place 3 duck roulades into the center of this. And then I'm just gonna garnish with a spoonful of the mushroom sauce on top. Just a bit, man, you're going crazy. Ugh. Do you mind kind of cleaning up that creamed corn a bit? Just a bit. I'm gonna go with sauce all around the plate. Order up! All right, I mean, enough's enough, right? Let's do it. Oh, I'm liking the looks of that. Took a long time to make it, but it's gone now. I'd consider that a heavenly plate of food. Marvelous, another good word. I mean, it's the best duck I've ever had, I think. And I cooked it, so good job, Jamie. It's juicy, tender, succulent. It's like pink on the inside. It's everything I was looking for, and it wasn't too gamey. It wasn't gamey at all, in fact. The taste of gaminess in duck can sometimes throw me off, but this did not have that at all, which was lovely. Now, that was my first time ever trying out sous vide, like that method of cooking something. I mean, that's what it was, right? Basically, yes, in fact, right? Both the mushrooms and the corn were like partners in crime there. The corn with the sweetness, mushrooms with the earthiness, and they just like brought a lot to the whole plate. And both had heaps of butter, which always helps. And you know, I guess I'll never really know what TK's quick duck sauce was all about. I'm sure it was much thicker than mine was because I found mine was a bit thinner than what I'm looking at in this photo here. Many steps involved in everything today, but the main takeaway for me was how easy the roulade of duck was. Like, if I'm gonna cook duck at home, I think I'm gonna use that method going forward. So I might return to this cookbook one day, maybe, possibly. But for now, I'm just opening this book to emphasize my point. I consider the case closed. All right, so the next cookbook coming up in the series will be this, The Essentials of Classic Italian Cooking by Marcella Hazan. I've heard quite a bit about this cookbook. I've had it on my bookshelf for a few years now, never once opened it. So let's crack the spine open and give it a go. I'll be torn a new one on the internet, cooking up Italian food, I'm sure, but it's worth a shot. I'd like to learn. This was Jamie and Chef Thomas Keller one last time. I'll see you later. Next time. Bye-bye.